Hey everybody, it's Derek Christensen here. I'm an estate planning and probate attorney in Dallas, Texas. Today I wanted to talk to you about muniment of title, the very fascinating and very confusing phrase that can make your probate a lot better. But before I dive into that, I wanted to let you know how to reach out to me. You can email me directly, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can find me on my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. So with that, let's dive right in. Muniment of title is a fancy word for slightly better probate than normal. That's how I would describe it. And when I say better, what I'm talking about is price and how long it takes, and the amount of paperwork it requires to finish everything up. So, for those who don't know, probate is the process by which somebody has passed away and you must go before a judge to get approval of who's going to be in charge of splitting up that deceased person's estate and how that person who is in charge is supposed to split everything up. Who gets what? So really, we're answering those two questions. Who's in charge? How do we split everything up? And that's really it. Probate is trying to answer those two main questions. Now, probate can be extremely complicated and it can be very, very quick and easy. When I say extremely complicated, that usually occurs when people don't have wills, when they have multiple unknown children everywhere, even if they are common law married and it's unclear. Those factors can make things much, much more complicated. And making things very easy is having very few assets, probably being relatively poor in assets, and having a will in place and other scenarios where the family tree is very clearly defined. Those tend to be major factors that determine where you land on the probate system, because in Texas there are about 7 different forms of probate. If you pick the right one, you save the most money and you save the most time while still getting the best result that will distribute everything. But if you go down the wrong path, then you have to start over, you have to repay for everything, you have to it's a disaster and a half. You don't want to go through 2 probates, let alone 1. So, muniment of title. Muniment of title is probably on the easier side. It's not the easiest, but it's easier. And oftentimes, muniment of title is used whenever there is a will, there are bank accounts or real estate or vehicles involved, and that's it, and the assets are greater than $75,000 beyond exempt assets for spouses. Now, the exempt assets, I've made a video about that as well, but essentially, if you have more than $75,000 to that deceased person's name, and it is not, I don't even know how to describe it. If you are the spouse, and your spouse passed away, you're allowed to receive the house, vehicle, a couple of bank accounts, stuff like that. If you have $75,000 beyond that as the spouse, then you need to go through a muniment of title. If, however, you're the child of your parents and the last parent has passed away and you have $75,000 at all, that's whenever you would look into a muniment of title as well. So the difference is that muniment of title is used whenever there's a house, cars, bank accounts. Those are really the 3 main assets, and a lot of people have just those assets. However, if you have retirement accounts, if you have stock accounts, if you have cryptocurrencies, if you have fancy artwork, if you have, lots of real estate, multiple pieces of real estate all over the place, then you're probably going to have to upgrade your probate to the slower form called letters of testamentary. And again, that's better than the worst, but it is slower. So if you can go down muniment of title and you're in that category of just a house, just a bank account, and just a car, if you're the spouse and it's more than $75,000 beyond those 3, then you're good to go. But if you are a child and it's $75,000 in total and there's just those 3 types of assets, then you're good to go for a muniment of title usually. Now again, that all depends if there's something called a need for administration. A need for administration is where somebody needs to have authority from a judge to go and grab that stuff back that's out there. So if there is a retirement account out there and it doesn't have a beneficiary designation and you need to grab that account and bring it back to the estate, then you're going to have to upgrade from muniment of title to something else. But again, if you have a real estate, cars, and just bank accounts, just those 3 types of assets, almost always you can do the muniment of title, which will be faster and cheaper, form of probate, and still resolve the estate. So I strongly recommend it. I strongly recommend you talk to an attorney to figure out whether or not you qualify for a muniment of title, because trust me, it is not fun when you go through the upgraded forms of probate. You always want to get the lowest on that totem pole as far as you can to still accomplish what you're looking to accomplish. So whenever you do talk to an attorney, be able to have the assets on hand, know which assets are out there, whether or not you need to go grab them, the family tree, you need to know everybody in the family tree. You need to know if there are debts out there as well, which could also create administration. There are a lot of moving parts here, but you really do want to shoot for muniment of title versus letters of testamentary if you can. So on average, muniment of title takes about 2, maybe 3 months to figure out. It'll cost maybe $2,500 to $3,000, maybe even $3,500, somewhere in that range. And you don't have to file a bunch of paperwork with secured creditors, with the government, or anything like that. However, letters testamentary, it's different. Probably 4,000 to 6,000 ish. Takes 3 to 5 months ish to take care of, and you have to do a lot of extra paperwork. So that's why you want to shoot for the muniment of title. So if you guys have any other questions on that front, that's a 10,000 foot view. I wish I could dive deeper, but I try to keep these videos relatively short. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can go to my website where you can go to our Contact Us page and go directly onto my calendar and schedule a free phone consultation at www.legionlawpllc.com. So with that, thanks for watching and have a great day.